Okay,
Thank
all right. Thank you. We're back live. Just a note, looks like we lost Mark.
Yes.
So we will need a motion to exit closed session.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second to exit closed session. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, we're out of closed session, back into public. We'll need to certify the closed session.
Move to certify the closed session.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to certify the closed session.
Christina vote. Chair Farrell,
Aye.
Director Miller.
Aye.
Director Johnson.
Aye.
Director Broughton.
Aye.
And Director Travis. Aye.
And we do still have a quorum.
Yes. Okay, next, we go to general businesses. I don't think there's any action from the closed session.
No, sir. Rachel, you want to go over ESS technologies?
You want me to go over it?
I'll be happy to. ESS technologies. I love the issues we're having. So ESS Technologies, they moved from New Jersey and bought a lot from the Economic Development Authority in the 90s and built a 16,000 square foot building in Blacksburg Industrial Park. Our old building was on Lot A. We owned all of Lot 7, and then we carved it up and sold it off. So they make specialize in packaging and design equipment. ESS Technologies, the owner came from Revlon, and so he was focused on batteries, small items such as that. Now they're with, is it Pacton, I think it's correct?
Leon?
Group, and they do all kinds of packaging equipment. So they're going to invest $1.6 million to increase capacity and expand jobs. The new project will make 27 jobs, and working with the Virginia Jobs Investment Program, which is a state program, they're going to get $1,000 a job for 27 new jobs. And they're going to move into the former Gelwood building and take 40,000 square feet of its space. And that building's had various occupants, school board, but so they're going to take the back end of that space and right off of
Scattergood.
Scattergood Drive. Thank you. My brain drew a blank on that one.
And they're also consolidating. They have a small shop in Giles. The big reason for consolidating this is the environmental and also the time of driving back and forth between the two facilities. So this is going to combine those two facilities together.
So Giles loses out.
Yeah, unfortunately, but
Yeah, Giles had to grant permission for them to consolidate to get the Virginia Jobs Investment Program for the 27 new jobs. So the good news is,
That's 27 net new jobs?
yes, 27 net new jobs. They have about 40 right now. So by vacating the old building, we'll have 16,000 square feet coming available at the latest February of 2025, but it could be by this fall, which we could always use available industrial high bay space.
and that's already listed on our website as well. The owner contacted us and had us listed in our database.
Pointed out, because you're not a full-time employee, you have access to.
Any questions on ESST? All right, we'll move down to Falling Branch Phase 2 expansion. Just as a reminder, we are working on Phase 2, Pad 2, and we're grading out a 20-acre pad. So this is the VDOT, I guess, illustration showing Parkway Drive out to Lot 2, past the FedEx Distribution Center. So Montgomery County, the town of Christiansburg, approved all plans and bonds in March, and the funding was there from the Montgomery County Falling Branch Corporate Park CIP, Capital Improvement Program. So last month, the EDA approved a $2.797 million contract with Main Street Builders. We gave them the notice to proceed on April 29th, and the first 2 weeks of May, the company, Main Street Builders, was basically working on obtaining all the permits that Christiansburg needed. And so we have a pre-construction meeting set for May 30th. This is 30 days later than I would have liked for them to be working, but it all ends on the same time period. So they should be able to get started in June without any issues. And if you look in your packet, there is on board docs, there's a letter from the town of Christiansburg about Falling Branch Corporate Park stormwater pond. My favorite subject.
Yeah.
So basically, they want, there is one, I'll just go through the list. So town of Christiansburg sent the letter. The main issue is trees and shrubs and drainage ways. But we did have a concrete failure that didn't occur from last year to this year. And so we're gonna need H&P to give us an estimate to do some topo work, to figure out exactly what has to be done with the repair. And we're gonna probably need to bid out the work on the pond, because this just is not going to be cutting down trees. This is gonna have to, probably excavators, things of that nature. So here is the pond. So it is in between Corporate Drive. It's 14 acres. That's lot 2A, all the way back around. So how we're going to approach it, I'll come back here, is just clean all of this out through here and back through here. And then this is the overflow channel / drainage way. They expressed some concern about the pipes between this point and where it comes out the drainage way. We may have to do some sealant in between the joints of, it's been 25 years. Yeah, a good 25 years since those concrete pipes were put in. So they may have to go in and reseal the rings in between the concrete. Because what is happening is water goes down, goes under the concrete, pops back up and goes through the concrete. So
they're worried about erosion for support for the concrete.
Right. My main concern was we're not replacing all that pipe, because that would be a major project to dig all that out. So right now we're looking at what our options are as far as that piping's concerned. But it looks like we just need to put a sealant. I would say there's probably about 300 feet of pipe right there in 2 different tunnels. So the only issue we may have with a contractor is if they consider this an enclosed space, there are different rules for that type of repair.
So you're gonna trench down to it?
H&P in Wise County at the Appalachian Wise County School, the UVA School of Wise, their stormwater pond was not holding any water. So obviously it was going down through cracks, and what they ended up having to do was they shot essentially liquid rubber in around the entire pond and inside the pond to create a barrier. And he thinks that if worse comes to worse, they will just shoot that down on top of each of the joints and then allow it to come down and around it. And you may have to do some sealing on the bottom, but he said that you could see the sealant dripping out of the pipes. So it sealed it up pretty well.
So it's bentonite or like a latex?
I'm not 100% on the product. All I know is it's like a rubber-based substance and very toxic.
So that's a concern, is that erosion around your drain pipe?
So the stream, comes in this direction to the concrete, and this is supposed to be level and even with the stream. And what happened is erosion got under it, and then it goes into the pond. So all that's gonna have to be cut out and redone.
That's nasty.
Yep. So, the only problem with the stream is that is a Army Corps of Engineer protected stream, but they don't believe what we're going to do is gonna require any new permits, because we're just doing repairs. So, and that's my beautiful illustration. Everything in red needs to be corrected in the bid document.
So this'll basically be an unbudgeted expense then?
It'll come out of the EDA maintenance reserve.
Yeah.
I think in the going forward, we are going to have to work with the county. We get a certain set of funds that comes over. Right now, it's close to $35,000. I think we're gonna have to probably budget $50,000 for park maintenance annually. And that's without any major repairs. And so we'll work with the county on that in the future. Right now, the EDA has the 2 CDs that are bringing in about 4.5%. So that's 45,000 on one CD, and then the other one's 850,000. So some of that revenue could also be used for maintenance as well.
Ryan, what's our process for periodically doing monitoring on the drainage?
So we cut the overall, so we have a contract, I think at last meeting it was approved with Valley Landscaping. So they come in and do all the interior cutting inside the pond. They have to weed eat the entire back end of the pond. So we are maintaining it. It's just that what they don't want is, like in this stream right here, there are trees that are close to it and in it. They want the trees out of that stream. To me, it would slow down the water further, but that's just my opinion. They want it all clean cut. So it's not that everybody's getting, because of the new regulations, everybody is facing this pain.
Is there anyone that's redesigning their stormwater systems to make them lower maintenance?
That's not, that, I don't know the answer to that, but it would be very expensive to do that. Because you would be replacing rock with concrete, and there's a whole lot of rock in that part between there's 3 4 bays beep, 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 that need to be maintained, and it's rock going in, rock coming out. And so it's just basically general maintenance, and they're just pushing harder on. They didn't say anything last year, they said something this year. But now this is just, we have had a failure of one of the, one of the 4 bays in the past. This one failed, and you just have to go in and rebuild it. It's just water, pressure, and time.
You just had some erosion on your embankment and give way?
Yeah, it just blew it up. It blew it open, so we had to redo it. So right now, we'll just continue to work on that project and bid it out once we have some numbers from H&P on the cost for design and so forth.
I imagine they're gonna replace, it looks like they have to replace this flume through here.
Yes.
That's a big job.
Yeah, it's about a 20 by 30 piece of concrete. They're going to have to break it up, pull it out, get it all to elevations, and
What, they put it in with Fabriform or?
It was supposed to be put in with that, yes, but in looking around it, I didn't see any fabric. The fabric is supposed to catch it and not let the water go under it. I didn't see any
Or
fabric.
you can also use Fabriform, which is a flexible form. It's its own fabric, you just lay it in, gravel bed, and then pump it full of concrete, you're done.
So at this point, we're just waiting for H&P's recommendations. But as long as we continue to work on it, the town of Christiansburg really cannot say a whole lot.
You said enough.
And the final thing is broadband, Carly.
So last time we met, we had just gotten a date set for the long anticipated Segra splice to occur, and I think we had AP had completed 2 miles of the underbuild in the Batty 1 area, so they have now completed 6.5 miles of fiber out of the 7.4 in the Batty 1 area. And the AP and Segra did complete that splice on May 3rd, and they handed the splice over to Gigabeam on Friday, May 17th. So they were completing their testing for those 2 weeks, and then now they've handed it over to Gigabeam to do their own internal testing. And Gigabeam has identified a first customer to hook up in Shawsville, and they are working to connect them, and I say that we'll have a customer, if not customers, by the next time we see you all.
I bet everybody would be happy about that.
Yes.
Needed to pick up a little speed, so. That's all we have. Do you have any questions?
All right, if not, we have,
Did you wanna discuss
Yeah, I do
next
wanna,
meeting?
yeah. So, the June meeting is when we'll have our elections and approve our budget. And, we'll also look at the bylaws on attendance at that meeting. I think we need to discuss them as a group, because we'll go over it in June. Right now, Mark is supposed to move up to chair, but he has a meeting that starts at 12 o'clock on the EDA meeting date, so I don't think that's gonna be feasible. Generally, we would have a nominating committee that would be Joe and a second person, if there are any volunteers, and then move forward. Now, Joe can always serve another year as chair if it pleases the EDA, and Mark could serve as vice chair. But may want to consider Mark's schedule in this. So we'll follow up with some emails and try to get everything resolved before.
just as a follow-on to that, maybe what we'd like to do is before we start the next meeting, can we do like an in-camera subcommittee just to put a slate of officers together?
Generally, we have the slate worked out
That's what I was
by
thinking
the meeting.
of the meeting, so do we want to do that ahead of time?
Why not appoint a committee right now to
Yeah.
do
Yeah.
that and report back to the board?
So Joe, who do you appoint?
That's for volunteers. And I'm gonna ask for volunteers to take over this too, so.
Just grab somebody out the pack.
Mike, you're grinning like a Cheshire cat. Let me know your availability and we'll contact whoever.
Okay.
Okay, we'll do that prior to the next meeting.
Yes.
Other than that, the next meeting is June 18th, 11:30, and we'll go over the bylaws and nominate officers and the budget.
And the budget. Have the annual meeting as well.
Very good.
All right,
All right,
thank you.
No other business then, meeting's